at this. I did it. I really, really did it. Hey, y'all. So I have figured out how to go live on YouTube. Okay, y'all be patient with me because I still don't know what I'm doing. And that's okay. I just wanted to hop on here and see if I could be helpful to someone. I know I've gotten a lot of messages and comments, which I'm just so grateful for everybody who has subscribed over these past few years, as I've been sharing what I think is helpful to nonprofit visionaries. And I just wanted to hop in and see if anybody had any questions or thoughts, or what are you going through right now? I know in the world of, COVID, all of us have really been thrown for a loop, and you might be, have more time on your hands to sort of reflect and then think more about your nonprofit vision and might want some support or help with that. So that's why I'm here. Like I said, I'm going to, and there's a lag here. So y'all, I'm still learning. What's going on out there? Let me see. You can chat with me in the chat box, send some questions or whatever. Let me see. Type something in here, y'all. Was also going to do a video on the different types of budgets. So we've got the organizational budget, we've got program budget, actual versus projected. A lot of my nonprofit clients or folks have asked, what's the difference between those types of budgets and when do I need to use them? And, it's a whole nother world when you start growing an organization and now you're like, okay, I want to raise money. But then you have to know what you're raising. You have to know the operational versus the program. So, we'll talk about that too. So what you got? What's going on? What you got? And I also wanted to let you all know about, so I have my company, Grow Charity Events, is hosting a virtual Visionaries of Color Nonprofit Summit this Saturday, May 16th. And so, again, many of you have expressed that you're just starting your organization, you're trying to grow your organization, or you're thinking about growing a nonprofit, you're not quite sure what you want to do. I suggest that you register for that summit. It's www.thevocsummit.com. So for me, what I, over the years, I've noticed that, not even just from my own personal experience, but after I started doing research, that a large number of the nonprofit organizations in this country are not led by people of color, although disproportionately people of color and families of color and children of color are being served. And so there's a disproportionate, racially disproportionate issue there that I don't think is fair. It's not right. I know in all of our systems in this country that is built in. But I wanted to make sure that I gave extra support to those nonprofit visionaries of color who aren't getting the same type of information. And it's not just by happenstance. It's not that we don't want to run nonprofit organizations or that we don't run nonprofit organizations. It's just that there is disparity in funding as it pertains to organizations of color. And so I decided I'm going to use my platform and the knowledge that I have to help change that. So at the nonprofit or the Visionaries of Color Nonprofit Summit, we're going to be talking about not just the technical aspect of of starting an organization. Yeah, you can talk about what you have to do to build and grow and fundraising and, budgets and all that stuff, which is very important to know about. But you also need to understand the healing component. And if you've watched my videos, you already know that, I talk a lot about healing and talk a lot about being intentional about why we're starting our nonprofit organizations, and is it an extension of something that we wanted for ourselves at some point in time. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you talk about the Black community or communities of color, there's a lot of healing on an individual level that needs to take place, as well as in the community context. So at the summit, we'll be talking about a little bit of both of those things, the technical aspect, but then also, what's going on in our community where we don't, what I like to call sugar sharing. It's trademarked, okay? Sugar sharing. What is sugar sharing? Back in the day, you used to be able to go to your neighbor and ask if you ran out of sugar, you can go to your neighbor and ask for some sugar. Oh, no problem. Here's a cup of sugar. And then when you go to the grocery store, you give them back their sugar. They might come to you. They need some eggs or something like that. We were consistently collaborating and sharing, and we've really moved away from that. And so just bringing us back to the table and remembering who we are, where we come from, and just how powerful our voice is. So all that goodness. So we've got nonprofit funders. We've got Dr. John Brothers from the T. Rowe Price Foundation. We've got Monica Mitchell, who's at the Wells Fargo Foundation and over community development there. So, we've got a number of different nonprofit experts who are going to come and talk about how do you take your organization to the next level. And also, I thought it was important to bring in our elders. That's another thing, and as far as our ancestry, a big thing was learning from our elders, having stories passed down from our elders. There's a disconnect with us, and that now, which I feel has done a huge disservice to the community. But I was intentional about having nonprofit elders who have been doing the work for years, probably before I was born, who know what the politics are in the community, who have overcome the different barriers, who kind of can help you navigate around certain things. Because again, it's not just starting an organization. You got to know the context. What's going on in the community? What does the community want? What historically has happened in your community that can affect whether or not you are effective in the work that you're doing. So it's so important to have mentors, so important to have coaches, to have people in the community who have already done what you're doing, and maybe not in the same vein. Maybe it's a different cause, maybe it's a different focus, but there are people there who have been there, and being able to tap into that knowledge. And then we can come to the table and bring our new energy and our excitement and our this and that. When we come together, we can create amazing things and we can rebuild our communities. So, that is really important. So if you are a visionary of color and you're like, I need that type of support, I would love to, hear from, others about how can I build this organization, and how can I also focus on my own healing, and how are some things that I can, what can I be aware of as I'm building this vision or preparing to build for this vision. Then you need to be there, okay? And I gave you also gave a promo code, but we just had, and I have to actually, we just had a sponsor who is going to allow us to give out 50 tickets for $5. So I have to make sure I give you that discount code. So I'll make sure I'll put it in the description box. So anybody that is seeing this video, that they'll be able to, and you're like, okay, it's COVID and I can't pay $30, for a ticket. Then we have that from sponsors. Okay. So what's going on? No. Hey. Any nonprofit questions? And I know consistency is key in everything that you do. And so now that I know how to do this, and I have downloaded the software to be able to stream live, and it wasn't that hard. See, I had to get out of my own head. It wasn't that hard. to do, I can consistently come on and just check in so that you can get your questions ready and be prepared. And even just to have conversation of what's going on. A lot of the comments that I've gotten too, many of you are just, have been discouraged around starting your nonprofit, have, really questioned your ability to be able to launch it. And, even though I'm a huge proponent of collaboration and for you to do your research first before you go creating something, there's no one that has your flavor, right? So even if there's somebody that's doing something similar, reaching out to see, well, what is the need? What's the gap that you can fill? You don't always have to be redundant and do the exact same thing that they're doing. No one has the capacity to serve every single person. So when you approach the collaborations in that way, you'll see that, okay, well, there is something of value that I can bring without being competitive or without, in that way, right? Well, unnecessarily competitive. Competition isn't always bad. But when you don't do your research and you just hop out there and you're like, oh, I'm going to start this new organization, and you don't know there's 10 other organizations that are doing similar things, so slow down and make sure that you check in and see what is going on and where can you best serve, because that's what, nonprofit is all about. Your organization is serving the public, serving the community. Okay. What else we got going on? Like I said, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the recording video of budgets, organizational budget versus the program budget. So you can be on the lookout for that. And also, I'll say too, another thing, which is, what might be helpful, because I had to do it for like I said, my company. We had the Visionaries of Color Nonprofit Summit was supposed to be in person, but because of COVID, we had to make it virtual. So I've been learning a lot of different things, especially around the software. We're using Zoom, even though I'll be looking at different types of software. And how much they cost, moving forward. But, to get creative, I know a lot of people may feel discouraged that you had an event and you had to cancel the event, or you don't know when you're going to be able to bring people back together physically. And that's very valid. I'm right there with you. At the same time, there's so many different opportunities to do something virtual, and you can still do virtual events and still be able to fundraise for those virtual events as well. So I'll also do a video on maybe some ideas around the virtual events that you can do. Because it is different than, you get your swag bags together for the actual event. People have name tags and all these other type of things that you physically are used to being able to do, but virtually you cannot do those things in the same way. You just have to be creative about creating the experience. And y'all know me, I say that all the time. It's about the experience. You can bring people together all you want, but if they come together and they don't remember the event, they don't get anything from your event, then it's all for naught. You just wasted your time, right? So we always have to be cognizant of what type of environment or experience that we're creating, whether it's virtual or whether it's in person. So I'll do a video and talk a little bit about that. So, all right. So I just wanted to hop on here, and like I said, if you ever need one-on-one support, I get a lot of comments about, I want to talk to you, or can you give me advice, things like that. Make sure you go on my website, ShalitaO'Neal.com, and schedule a initial consultation so that I can get a better idea of what you're doing, what you're trying to do, and more about your nonprofit organization. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. There's so many people reach out and they're like, I saw you on YouTube, and I didn't know if I should reach out, or, y'all better reach out and stop playing. I'm human, just like you're human. I'm out here, trying to pursue my dreams and trying to give back to my community just like you. So the difference is I have a little bit more information. I've got more trial and error, and I can help you avoid some of the things that I've seen other mistakes that other people have made, and mistakes that I've made in the past. You don't have to do this by yourself. Stop trying to do this by yourself. I have so many, the nonprofit visionaries will say, oh man, I wish I'd have, known about you beforehand, or, I done went ahead and tried to do all these. If you are just starting, you haven't done anything yet, if you haven't filed your paperwork yet, if you haven't, slow down and stop for a second and get help. Like, I'm here to help you, because you don't want to start making mistakes or doing things. I didn't know I didn't have to pay for an EIN number, or I didn't know that I also needed to have bylaws, or I didn't know what the bylaws were supposed to look like, or I didn't know I was supposed to have a budget, or I don't know that I don't need to pay $3,000 to have somebody do a 1023 EZ. So slow down. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. You don't know everything. No one does. Let you in on a secret. Nobody know everything. It's okay. It's okay. Especially if you feel compelled and you've been watching my videos, or you feel compelled, like, oh, I just want to reach out to her and see if she can help me. Reach out. Don't, there's no shame in it. Ain't no shame in your game. Ain't no shame. I'm not going to judge, because I know what it's like to have a dream and have a vision and want to build it and not know where to start or how to do it, or, and I got mentors. I was like, hey, let me reach out to these folks who I know what they're talking about to help me firm up this vision and make it real. And so you're no different. Don't be fooled into thinking that, oh, well, I'm going to do all these Google searches and I'm going to pull all this together. And you can go ahead. You've got the time to do it. I mean, it's COVID. We're quarantined, most of us anyway. So if you have that type of time and patience, then go ahead and do that. But if you don't, if you want to just get the vision out, and even if you've already been running your organization for a minute, that doesn't mean that, just like, as we age and get older, there's always things that we can learn about life. There's always things that we can learn about ourselves. If you ever run across someone that says, oh, I know everything, I'm good, I don't need to know, then that person is lying, and you need to steer clear of them, right? Because no one, no matter how old you are, no matter how much wisdom you have, there's always room to learn something else. And it's not about age. I have clients that are older than me, clients that are younger than me, clients that are the same age as me. It doesn't matter. It's not about age. It's about knowledge. It's about information. And so I may have some information that you don't have, although you may be older than me. You may have been running an organization longer, but if you're not seeing the success, or if you're wanting fresh ideas, or how can we, how can I create this new program, and what types of things should I be looking at, and you need or want extra input from someone who has experience and expertise in strategic planning, reach out. It doesn't matter that I'm younger than you. It doesn't matter, oh, wow, I've been doing this and I don't need no help. Okay. We all need help, and don't be in denial. We all need some type of help, even if it's not about programmatic development. Maybe it's about the technological part of it, technology. Maybe, you're not really up to par, up to date with software that's out here. And I'm all about streamlining everything. I do not want to make anything more difficult for myself than it has to be. And time is money, right? So I'm all about what software is out there that can help streamline, automate when necessary, things like that. So it doesn't matter what kind of support you need. We all need each other. And I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm here for it all. So ShalitaO'Neal.com. I hope to hear from you. And I will be more consistent on here. But I need you to tell me what things do you want me to talk about. And then I can, I can make videos, or at least come on live and talk with you all during this time. And like I said, you can leave it in the comment box and let me know. All right. So if you have, and don't forget the vocsummit.com. Make sure that you register for this Saturday, so that you can get some extra knowledge, not just from me, but from other nonprofit experts and funders who are they're volunteering their time to come and provide the resources and information that you're going to get. All right. So until next time, be blessed.